Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I'm Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's going on with you, bro?
Oh man, can't call it. Just out here trying to survive out here, man, in a city full of wolves. But I'm making it, man. Man, listen, I've been just did a really good interview, man, that I'm gonna put out here coming up this upcoming Monday. But at the same time, man, putting in content, man, like I just like we mentioned earlier, off air, man, got into that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I wanted to get into a little bit with you. But how you feeling though, man? How everything been going with you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm getting some things done behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, making sure I get some other stuff straight. Credit score going up. I'm feeling good, brother. I can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Yes, sir. Hey, but I just paid off a credit card, but the other day, but I was
Me too.
like, what, balance zero.
Me
I was
too,
like,
bro.
yeah, buddy,
Yes,
but balance
sir.
zero.
That's the best feeling in the world. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. But so I'm on that building the credit as well, man. I'm on the same train, man. Got to.
Real.
They make it hard for you out here in these streets, boy, when that ain't good.
Hey, listen,
But,
that credit score, once that credit score go up, you feel like you kind of hit the lottery a little bit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. My shit went up. That motherfucker went up 89 points.
Oh,
I've been
man.
paying all this shit. I was getting that shit out the way. Woo! Man, listen, I feel like the championship is coming.
Oh, yes, sir, boy. That's a good feeling, boy. That is a good feeling. Like, I didn't know how to act, boy, when I had went and got my new ride, man. I was able to ride out, boy. No trade in or nothing. But I was like, what?
Just beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes, sir, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, like we was talking off air, man. Like I just been watching a lot of things, man. I need to get back on that the murder in the Mormons thing. I watched I finally got into that Tom and Jerry that you mentioned last episode.
Yeah,
it was my oldest boy, he was just, he was in and out. He wasn't like really, watching it. But my youngest son, he was enjoying that shit, but he was.
Yeah, mine too.
He was like, man, he said, Jerry, get him every time, Dad. I was like, yeah.
I thought it was dope because, usually when we see those type of movies, like as far as Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, what I'm saying, we used to seeing them as far as fully animated movies. We really don't get a chance to ever really see like live action animation movies. Like I know Looney Tunes came out with one with like Brendan Fraser not too long ago, and it didn't do so well. But what I'm saying, my kids liked it because they was kids, like they was babies. But like I try to do as much as I can to kind of show them the kind of stuff that I grew up on. So like anytime we would, we talked about Walmart and the t-shirts, like we would go to electronics, we got the full seasons of Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and all those classics and stuff like that. So they know Tom and Jerry, they know like Road Runner, Wile E. Coyote. So when the movie came out, they were familiar with it and they watched it. They loved it, man. Like I thought it was dope. Like I said last week, T-Pain, or last episode, T-Pain did the song part. The Plastic Cup Boys, that's with Kevin Hart. They did the Alley Cats. Like, it was a good movie. So, we watched it. They still watch it over and over again. So I was like, yeah, this was a good choice.
Yeah, man. So like I've been getting that in. Actually, the next documentary that we got. Woo-wee!
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
But that's gonna be crazy. If what I've noticed about this podcast is like the people really be feeling the documentaries, man. And so we try to give y'all like the best ones. And if anybody that's out there that are like avid movie watchers like me and you, they have to know, without us even promoting it or even the coming soon or anything like that, they have to know like, yo, this is the hottest documentary that is out right now. And so I finished that. You said you was on the third part.
Mm-hmm.
But got into that on this weekend. Also, like I said, that Falcon, Winter Soldier. I'm gonna tell you right off the rip. I'm gonna tell you what I love about it the most. And I know people probably think that, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I dig into this too much,
Yeah.
but it's just the fact that it made it realistic.
Yes. Yes.
There's no way it's gonna be a black Captain America, man. Like, and how
Come on,
they
baby.
put that in there,
Come
man,
on, baby.
and it
In
just shows you
2021 too. Come on, baby.
they telling you ain't no way. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
see, what I dug about it was not only was it like you said, it was realistic, but not only was it realistic to the point of they didn't want one, he didn't even feel comfortable being Captain America. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like he, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize, like he was down there at that point, best friends with, you know what I'm saying, with Roger. So it was like, the fact that he didn't want to take that mantle up, the fact that he was cool just being Falcon, you know what I'm saying? Like just the stuff that he was going through with his life, and then they went and showed you how, you know what I'm saying, the Winter Soldier or Bucky is dealing with his problems and going back. And for other people that don't know, this is a spoiler. We already told you we do spoilers on the show. But you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that Bucky is going back and trying to right his wrongs. He in therapy, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Like, I mean, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? He get to be around his family again. He talking to his sister and dealing with the situation of, you know what I'm saying, helping her. And then the super crazy part about this first episode was like when he was talking to the loan guy when they went to the
Yeah, I
bank
knew
to get
you
the
were going
loan.
there.
And it was like he was sitting there talking, and he was like, you know, the loan guy taking pictures and shit. You know, he excited, and he like, yeah, but I mean, it really ain't nothing I could do for you. And this nigga like, yo, I'm a fucking Avenger. Like, motherfucker, I've saved the earth. 17,000.
Yeah,
If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be out here giving loans, nigga. Like, yo, you
yeah.
can't help me. Like, I'm the fucking Falcon. And it's like that shit. I mean, it's so dope. I think what Marvel is doing, because they're taking comic books and they're putting them on screens, but they're also, like you said, making it realistic. It's not like, you know, superhero land where the Falcon would have walked in there with a suit and got a loan, or they would have gave him some money and he just would have flew out. And then they was like, oh man, it's the Falcon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's realistic shit. So I think that it, you know what I'm saying, it's making it relatable. Same thing with WandaVision. Like you felt the situation going on in WandaVision because, you know what I'm saying, people know there's people out there who know how it is to lose a loved one, and you know what I'm saying, to deal with that grief and everything. Because I think that with the movies that they put out, you kind of see those relationships that they have. Like with Thor, you know what I'm saying? It's really Thor. The Thor series is really a love story. You know what I'm saying? The Captain America series is really, you know what I'm saying, an identity crisis, trying to find out who you really are. You know what I'm saying? The Iron Man situation is, you know what I'm saying, a ego check. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things that's going on with these movies that you can kind of look at and be like, man, you know, they really have certain themes to these movies that any and everybody can relate to. And I think that's why Marvel has been making such an impact on the movies that they've had.
And also another thing about that bank loan part that was realistic and interesting. He was like, "Yo, like they didn't pay y'all nothing." He was like,
Right. Yeah.
Tony Stark didn't leave you anything, like before he died. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like I thought that was realistic because he's like, "Yo, like we do this off strength. Like the government
Hmm.
ain't paying us nothing."
Right.
And I thought that was dope. And then also the fact of they feel that the way my skin look is one of the reasons why I'm not getting this loan.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that that vanished for 5 years and came back. So
Hmm.
it's like, are they getting denied as loans as well?
Right.
So I thought that was really dope, man. I think we in for a really really good season. And I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't drop us with two like they did with WandaVision, and that
Yeah.
just gave us one. Cause they're like, yo, this material that we got here, like we know y'all are coming back every week, and
Well,
we don't
I
have
think
to.
this is gonna lead up to um something a lot more closer than we think it'll be. You know what I'm saying? So far, we still don't know about the Black Widow movie yet. But a lot of people have been talking about that the WandaVision was also connected to Doctor Strange. So we might get a Doctor Strange movie coming soon. Then, you know what I'm saying, we've also seen the ending of WandaVision. So we might be getting a Captain Marvel 2 coming soon. There's really no telling what will be revealed in the Falcon and Winter Soldier yet, but I'm seeing a lot of things that's possibly bound to happen. We might end up getting a Black Panther 2 coming soon. A lot of stuff might end up happening. This next phase is gonna be crazy.
For sure. And like I said, well, they got us on strings, man, because it's like, look how they tied it in. We haven't seen the shield with that bag that he had the shield in. He pulled it out. You could hear the voice of Steve when he said that it felt borrowed. So it's just like everything is so connected to these movies, and it's just like if you're not watching these TV shows, and the next movie come out. There's information, like there's information that you don't know and shit not gonna make sense. So,
and I mean, we seen Warhammer in the first episode. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been even bringing back certain characters, like in WandaVision. You know what I'm saying? We got Kat Dennings back as her character. We got I forgot what the guy's name is. The agent. I think his name was like Agent Wu or something like that. We got him back. You know what I'm saying? He was in Ant-Man. So it's like a lot of this stuff is starting to come together now to where, you know what I'm saying, like I said, this next phase, hey man, listen. I don't know if it'll be better than that first one, but it's gonna give it a run.
That's why I know this. Well, it's tied in, so I mean, it's in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
T.I. fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that one.
But this is only reason I say that is because with these interchanging characters in these different things, like, you know, he could have popped up in something simply because he was in Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? Look how.
But to me, his character wasn't necessarily like relevant for him.
Not like Michael Peters' part. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see him popping up, but like he was with him, but you know, but Michael Peters was more important than he was.
Exactly.
But it's just but the point of what I'm saying is just even being in the Marvel universe, you know what I'm saying? You can have a come up simply because you're in it, and like you might be in one movie where you got 5 minutes of screen time, and then you could be a co-star in something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's dealing with it. They're just like, oh girl, she came from the Thor joint. The girl that was in
Kat Dennings.
That's what her name is. The girl out with the red lipstick, black hair.
Oh yeah, her name is Kat Dennings, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, like
Two Broke Girls.
Yeah, Two Broke Girls. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
girl.
Yeah. She's hilarious though, man. She had a show on Hulu.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what the name of it was, but yeah, she had a show on Hulu. But like,
I had to check that out.
She wasn't the main character. Like it was what's our girl name? That was Thor's love interest. Dang, what's her name?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Blank on that.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman. That's one of my favorites too. She was in Star Wars. I mean, hey yo, you want to talk about having a career? Listen.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Portman was in Star Wars, right? Left Star Wars, did Black Swan.
Yep.
Left Black Swan, did a couple other joints, then did fucking Marvel. You talking about two of the most major franchises in movie history. Mm-hmm. She's had woo. Hey yo, she got it.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. Like she was just her sidekick. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In the Thor movies. And now she pops up without Thor, without Natalie Portman, and she's, you know what I'm saying, has a pretty good role in WandaVision. So I was
Yep.
just meaning it that way, like, you know, like what he was he accused, what T.I.'s accused of, yes, is, you know, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what this podcast is about. So I'm not going to get
Right.
into it. But I was just meaning just being in the Marvel universe, you just
Yeah,
never
having that
know when
chance.
you
Yeah.
when you can reoccur in something else. Like that's the only thing I meant by it. But like
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Michael Peter pop up in something simply because
I feel like he in that same lane that Kat Dennings is in. Like he should be in something else because he was great in Ant-Man. I
yeah,
mean, to me, he's great in everything he does. Like
he's great in
one of my
everything.
favorite movies that he was in was 30 Minutes or Less. He was hilarious in that. But as far as like just him being, you know what I'm saying, like one of those actors who can like jump in and not necessarily have that star role, but like, you know what I'm saying, we talked about it in previous podcasts and episodes about somebody coming in and just stealing the scene. He's one of those guys who can come in and steal the scene.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like him, man. Everything like serious, comedic. He's just one of those other dudes, man. He is very well rounded, dude. He can
Yeah,
get into a lot of different characters, man. He's a good, well rounded actor, man. That a lot of people don't mention. Like, you know, he was a viable FBI agent and shooter. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And he even had a few comedic points in shooter. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I really like Michael Peter, man. So that's all I meant by that was just the fact of like you
Yeah.
just never know, dude. Like um Agent Carter, when Agent Carter come out, like, I never watched
Yeah.
one episode of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So when she popped up and you know what I'm saying, Captain America, I remembered her because they used to promote it like crazy. So
Yeah.
I remember her, and then plus she fine as hell. So I
Yeah.
remember her, and I was like, oh, so she's Agent Carter, and her and him knew each other back then, and you know he got
Mm-hmm.
frozen in ice, and so you know I was just meaning from the fact of, I mean, T.I. he didn't have the biggest, most important role, but it's just the fact
Right.
of like, boy, just being in it, man. All you gotta do is just be in it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like our man
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya, but I was going the other dude played in Spencer Confidential with and Us, big dude, man, played in Us, played in Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg. He was the big dude. Woosah, woosah, that dude, like
Oh,
dang, what's his name? That fought Black Panther the first time to try to take the throne, and then they had to go out there because when he was frozen.
I forgot what his name is, but I know who you're talking about.
But
It's
like
he.
him, like he was, you know, he had a real quick appearance in Endgame, but it's
Yeah.
just the fact of, you know, even though it's
Winston,
not Black
Winston Duke,
Winston
that's
Duke,
his name.
that's
Yeah,
it, yeah, Winston
yeah,
Duke, like he was in Avengers 2, Avengers Infinity Game. So
yeah,
just him, like we never know, he can pop up again, you
yeah.
know, and then I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a pretty good part in Black Panther 2 as well.
Oh, he got to.
So just being in that Marvel universe
Well,
like that.
the reason I say that he has to is because in the comic books he's an actual villain. He's not even in the movie they made him an anti-hero, but in the comic books he's supposed to be a villain. So Killmonger, him, it's I forgot what the other guy's name is, but he like a voodoo priest or something like that. And that's he's one of the characters that people brought up because they thought that Killmonger was gonna come back because we never, like, you know what I'm saying, we talked about we never seen him actually die in it. We just seen him tell him to go outside and look at the sunset or whatever. But him and it's like another character or something that Claw was in the Avengers and
Mhm.
everything else. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, is and that's what I think is dope too, because like the villains, they kind of tell you who's gonna be there, who's not. I know it's been rumblings talking about and rumors saying that Namor might be in the new Black Panther. For people who don't know who Namor is, he's like the Marvel version of Aquaman. So it's like it's a bunch of people who could come in and you know what I'm saying? Like they've been adding people in, like WandaVision added Agatha Harkness, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't hear too much about her, but that's a big developmental part of the Scarlet Witch story. So we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. But speaking of the superhero movies, since we on this tangent, before we actually get into Snowfall, because I know that's what everybody here for. Justice League came out. 4 hour version of Justice League, Zack Snyder cut. It is, like I told you, it's significantly better than the original movie. There's so many parts and stuff that they added in that make it helped the movie make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it helped everything kind of come together. So I know you said you ain't watch it. When you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. If anybody out there ain't watched it yet, go check out that new Justice League Zack Snyder cut. It is amazing.
And one more thing before we jump into Snowfall. I mentioned it to you on Facebook. We was going back and forth. First of all, I can't believe you never seen True Detective on
No, I
HBO.
haven't, man. Yeah, I
True
really
Detective, True Detective is so dope. You would really love it, man. But like, it's one of those things where like every season there's different characters and different crimes.
haven't.
And
So
what?
it's like American Horror Story.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, because American Horror Story used the same people but different stories. They don't
No,
use the
so
same people at all.
I mean like throughout the season.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to
Cause
think
like
of another.
so what I'm saying is like American Horror Story, like that first season, they used the same people. And then that next season it was a whole new cast. And the next season it was a whole new cast. Like that.
Yeah, but Horror Story. The thing with American Horror Story is Sarah Palsy,
Mm-hmm.
Angela Bassett,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know that one white guy's name. They are in every season, but they're just different
Mm-mm.
people. Yes, they are.
See, cause in the first season Angela Bassett not in it.
The thing is some seasons everybody character is not a main character because they bring people in. Just like in Hotel, Lady Gaga was like the main character in it.
Right.
But then Lady Gaga didn't come back. Well, it wasn't that she didn't come back, but she wasn't in 1984. But the
Right.
next season that's coming out, Lady Gaga's back in it.
Oh,
See what
okay.
I'm
I see what you're
saying?
saying. I see what you're saying. So
So,
it's so
but
this one is literally like a premise, a cast, and then next season is a new premise, new cast.
it's kind of like well, okay. For instance, what I text you, what I messaged you in was
Mm-hmm.
Matthew McConaughey is saying what now. The thing is, he was in the first season. He was the main character.
Right,
He was the first. He was one of the detectives in the first season.
right.
And I forget what that crime was about. But then the second season, the main character was Mahershala Ali, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so then and now they're saying what this third season of True Detective could be based around the movie A Time to Kill.
Right.
So will be dope. Like you'll see
But
what I'm
see,
saying. Like
McConaughey is coming. They said McConaughey was coming back for that one, all right?
yeah,
Okay.
that will be dope. But like I was trying to think of another like American Horror. It's a good one. It's a good
Yeah,
one. But it's just the fact of like
they got
there
recurring cast members.
yeah, and like
Okay.
something like sometimes like maybe some of them wasn't like, but like even with Angela Bassett, like in Hotel, she was like a side character, but
Oh, okay.
in I think it was Roanoke, American Story Roanoke, she was the main character. Like she was like
Yeah.
in like every scene with Cuba Gooding Jr.
So what's
So
the one? What's the one where they supposed to be in like Louisiana or something?
I don't know which one that
Or did
was.
I? I'm saying, am I tripping?
The only ones I watched was Roanoke, and they was like in the backwoods, like
Oh,
backwoods.
okay.
I watched Hotel. I watched 1984. 1984 was crazy.
Yeah,
Um, and then I watched Election or Election Year or something. So
yeah.
I've only watched four of them, and it's
Okay.
like,
Because I
and I watched
started
the
the
first
first
one.
season. Yes, I started the first season. I haven't finished it.
Yeah. And it's also one of those shows where like you don't have to watch all of them because they're not
Exactly.
related. It just
Yeah.
has like the same people. Well, a majority of the same people. It's like three or
Okay.
four maybe even 5 people who reoccur. But then, like I say, Lady Gaga was in Hotel. She wasn't in 1984, but Lady Gaga is in this upcoming season. So she's, so yeah.
Well,
but
outside of that, bring back Black Mirror and do it right this time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, people. I gotta say something. Now, the one I get what they was trying to say. The one with Miley Cyrus. I get it.
Yeah.
But I could have went without seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
it made sense as far as the theme of Black Mirror goes. I agree with you, but I mean it made sense. But it was like, yeah, I'm with you. We could have did without that one. That wasn't really necessary.
Yeah. I'm with you with that though. Black Mirror is just one of those shows where it's just like you gotta be some kind of. I would consider people like me and you like we a little nuts, man. Like to watch a lot of the stuff, and then it's just like that's just like with my music, dude. Like I was cleaning up earlier, and I had my music playing, and I know my girl looked at me crazy because one of my songs, my Kid Cudi "Nobody Believes Me" song came on.
Yeah.
I thought she was looking like, what the fuck are you listening to? And it's just like, I'm like that with movies. Like, I can watch something like Snowfall, you know what I'm saying, about drug dealing, you know what I'm saying, the black struggle, all this type shit, but then I could watch something like Spotlight, where it's like, you know what I'm saying, about a Boston Globe paper about these priests who raping kids. So it's just like, I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Marvel Universe, DC.
For me, entertainment is entertainment, man. If it's good, I'm into it. Especially if it's something like I'm into. Like, I remember when Gods of Egypt came out, and even though they had an all-white cast, I still watched it. And it was, you know what I'm saying, it was the storyline was good. You know what I'm saying? They made the God of Intelligence tough. They made him Chadwick Boseman. So that was another good reason to watch it too. But you know what I'm saying? It was a good movie. It was just the fact that all of them was white dudes except for Chadwick Boseman. And I was just like, that's not real or whatever. But outside of that, it was a good movie. And you know what I'm saying? I'm real into like mythology and all that type of stuff. So like Thor, I watched Thor for real, watch Thor because you know what I'm saying? Nordic mythology. Anything like 300, I watched that. Anything like Gladiator, I watched that. What's the movie with Brad Pitt where he was Achilles? Troy. Oh my God. Listen, I went and bought Troy 3 times. I literally had 3 different DVDs of Troy, bro. That's how much I love. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. Troy is one of the greatest movies ever.
Dude, see, you into that, and I'm into shit like The Tudors, man. Like that's what got me heavy.
I like The Tudors too. That was a good show. Real quick though, shout out to my little cousin Richie, bro. I don't care that I'm in last place on the goddamn March Madness bracket. I'm telling y'all, today is my day. When the day is over with, I had a last laugh.
Hey, but you wild.
I'm sorry, bro.
But like that's the shit. That's the shit. And I promise y'all after this, I promise we getting into Snowfall. That's what got me. That's what got me into King Henry VIII heavy. And dude, it took me down the wormhole of I started watching documentaries about his castle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching documentaries about King Henry VIII, like because like Tudors give you a. You know what I'm saying? It gives you the story, but there's some stuff where they didn't really get into.
It give you a good outline,
Yeah, it give you a good outline. And like I remember like when it came to his one wife that he married, and after this I saw a movie. His wife that he married in Tudors, they made it seem like he didn't want to marry her because she was from Germany. That was the wife that was from Germany. And he said that he didn't want to marry her because she was ugly. Right?
Yeah.
But in real life, in the documentary, they said at this time he had fell off a horse. He had like gangrene, like in his thigh. Yeah. So he had got to the point where like his wound had got infected from when he had fell off. He didn't fall off a horse. There was, that one game that they used to do and they ride the horses and they got the stick and try to knock them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, so he got an injury from that. So because of that, that's when he started getting fat. And then from the infection in his leg, he used to smell real bad. So he said that he divorced her because she was ugly. But the way it really go in real life is the fact that she didn't really want to be with him because he smelled bad and he was fat. So so they just detected that they did him a disservice there. But if you want to read those comments, man, you got it.
Nah, man, I'm gonna just post them up. I ain't gonna read too much because they messing with me, man. Like, so real quick, I know we said we're gonna get into it real quick. So March Madness is going on right now. For everybody that listened to the last episode, you know what I'm saying? We reviewed Glory Road. I ended up getting into a bracket challenge with my little cousin, man, and I'm in last place right now. So they giving me all kind of hell for it. So if you're watching this live, when you see the comments, they talk about me. But shout out to We Go How, you know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. Go check them out on all music streaming platforms. Shout out to my little cousin Richie, man. You know what I'm saying? He doing his thing. He an electrician. He got a clothing line coming out soon. And he also featured on some We Go House on Javon Escobar. Go check him out. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're gonna talk about Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? Episode 5. Man, oh man, it got real.
It definitely
really
got real.
real. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Leon was going through it. Episode 4, you know what I'm saying? He killed Scully's daughter. We talked about that, you know what I'm saying? We both predicted that's who it was gonna be. Then, you know what I'm saying, Franklin lost his bodyguard. You know, his dad was going through it with that bitch Irene. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared to say it. She's a bitch. Can't stand her, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
What else was happening, man? Oso, you know what I'm saying? Oso and Reed, they was going their thing. You know, with the kids and everything like that. They went and got some revenge because, you know what I'm saying, he killed one of Oso's people. What else happened, man? We still haven't heard about Mel. We still don't know what's going on with Mel.
Mm-hmm.
We seen her in the first episode. We still don't know what's going on with Wanda. We didn't really see too much of Wanda in this episode. We know she's in the hospital getting better, so we'll see how that plays out. They set everything up. I predicted that Scully and Manboy was going to team up, and it happened. You know what I'm saying? I was excited to see that. That was actually crazy because I knew once that Manboy found out that his niece got killed, he was gonna find a way to use that as out to, you know what I'm saying, turn on Franklin and everything that's going on with Franklin because it's been kind of a riff. I remember I want to say was it episode 2 or 3 where they was deciding who they were gonna take out. But it was between Scully and Manboy, and I said that they needed to side up with Scully. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was important that they keep Scully in the mix. Manboy, you can get rid of Manboy. Manboy ain't he's a headache. But you know what I'm saying, they decided to team up with Manboy, and as we can see, that was the wrong decision. So, you know what I'm saying, episode 5, man, how you feeling about it?
I want to start right out the gate, man. And we got to start. See, last time we held it for last, but I want to jump right into it. Mm-hmm. Leon, the part, and I'm going to make a prediction. I'm not going to say that you cried, but I think it might have made you a little teary-eyed, man, when Franklin's mom came in there and sat down there with him. And she didn't say much. She didn't say much. She just told him to sit down, sit on the floor. And she started braiding his hair, and he started going through it, but with his lips was trembling. But I was like, man, but I don't know who to feel bad for, man.
My God.
It was so emotional, man. It was a great job by both of them. Like, and then it was like, I don't even think it was acting with the real actress, man, that plays Sissy Saint. Like, you know how she just pulled his shoulder back. Yeah, and then just how she was just comforting him. And then when they went back she went back home and she's doing laundry, and he was like, "You went and saw Leon," and she was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Thanks," and she was like, "I didn't do it for you." She was like, "You know, when I see him, I see you." Right. So, you know, he needed that because his mom gave him that tough love. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew something. Like for you to come here in the middle of the night looking for a shovel.
I wanted to fight his mom.
I don't know because the reason why I felt her, for number one, when it comes to the money, he was like, that money was for emergencies. She was like, hey, one of your sisters or brothers got dialysis.
Man, that shit was 20 grand.
Dude, and then the other one got bit by something, man. Like she had to spend it for the hospital.
That second one I didn't believe that shit. Didn't nobody get bit by nothing. Now that first one, I'll ride with that. But 20 grand, bro, ain't no way you spent 20 grand that fast, bro. In the 80s.
Well, we don't know how long that money been there, and we don't know how long she started going into it. And then he said that you wouldn't have this house if it weren't for me. But it sounds like we don't know if the house is paid off.
Yeah.
We don't know if she got rent. We don't know if it got to the point where maybe she was working 2 jobs. Now maybe she know Leon got a little money, so maybe now she's only working 1. So we don't really know the whole situation of why she went through that money. But I felt that what she said was very necessary in the fact of like your brothers and sisters are here every night, and you can't stay here because she know Leon got his own spot. He had a big ass joint with Wanda, you know what I'm saying? Then he started living in the projects. So for you to come here, you into something, and we don't need you to bring that mess here because what if? And then even with that, now the thing is, if Manboy and Scully would have just went rogue and Manboy didn't go to Franklin and told him to handle it, what if they would have found out where his mama stayed? Even if he was there or not, they could have just sprayed his mama's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that's a part of the business of where if you're gonna get into this, just know if you fuck up, this shit could come back to you and come hunt your family as well. So I get why she didn't let him stay. She asked him, "Did you have somewhere to go?" And I think she also kind of figured, like, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of friends. Like somebody will let you stay with them. You know, so I thought, but I want to get back to the heartfelt moment. Like what was going through you, man? Because I was teary eyed, but I'm telling you, it got me.
Whew. Hey, listen, I think that was probably one of the realest moments in the whole 4 seasons of Snowfall. Like you kind of felt everything that was going on in that. Like the fact that they didn't even have to say anything, the music that they played, you know what I'm saying, that they chose to play during that scene, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that embrace that she gave them, like, yo, it's going, you know, you just felt like everything is going to be okay in that moment. Like, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? We got your back. We here for you. You know, we ain't going to let nothing happen to you. You know it was a mistake. And she didn't even really know what was going on. She just knew that he was in trouble and she was there for him. And that just goes to show you, like, just even though, you know, Franklin is the main character and, you know what I'm saying, he's basically who the show is revolved around. It really just goes to show you how much his mom is really in charge of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like when Austin had said something about, you know what I'm saying, doing the deal with Davis or whatever. And she was like, you know, he said, well, what if that snake decided to bite you? She was like, yo, I just chop his head off and move on to the next one. And it's just like we really starting to see the evolution of a lot of these characters, you know, especially her with the decisions she's making. You know what I'm saying? With her planning certain things out, her going to you know what I'm saying, like her going to Leon and you know what I'm saying, embracing him, braiding his hair and just letting him know, you know what I'm saying, like just everything is gonna be okay. Like you really just see how much she's really being like the head of all this, even though Franklin is the brains, but she's really the one that's in charge of like all of this shit. Like she's really the one behind the, you know what I'm saying, like behind the scenes. I guess you could say like the puppeteer of it all. Like, and it's amazing to see her play that role. and really, you know what I'm saying, like bring life into that role, because it's like, you know, his dad is doing his part, but we don't really get to see his dad um in that kind of situation. You know, he still it seems as if like him and his dad still got kind of a like a beef or whatever, because you know what I'm saying, we know that in the earlier episodes and seasons that his dad kind of left them hanging, but his mom, like it seems like soon as she say something, he, you know what I'm saying, like he right on it. He might go back and forth with her a little bit, but it ain't really too much that he could tell the mom. And for him to do, or for her to go see Leon and him, that, you know what I'm saying, them to have that exchange afterwards, and then, you know, when he say thank you, I think he kind of understood what she did as well. Like it's not about um you know, all this other shit that y'all got going on in the street. You know, Leon is your people. Leon is somebody you grew up with, somebody who always had your back. And so for him to have the decision that he had to whether to kill Leon or give him up or let him go to the police or whatever, with his mom doing that, I think that kind of made the decision right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Like when she went to go see Leon, I think that was him making his mind up of, okay, I'm gonna have Leon's back. I'm not gonna let them get my dude. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a very pivotal point in this season.
Man, you asshole. How you gonna say it before me, boy? I was like, yo, that was the moment.
Yeah,
Because he didn't know. I think he really did not know what he wanted to do.
yeah,
I think that he was in the middle of, like, you know, like Jerome said we got two choices. We
yep,
can either ride for Leon and go to war with Manboy and Scully, or, you know what I'm saying, we can get rid of him. And I think that
yeah,
and then his auntie, you know, she's telling him like, yo, like we got to get rid of Leon. We got to turn him over. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I think that he honestly did not know. And then when that happened with his mom, even though he told
Hmm.
her, I don't know. But I think he also was waiting to see, because he was going to meet Reed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Reed was the one who paged him, because he asked Reed to go check what do the police know about a 5-year-old child that got murdered.
right.
And I think also the decision that was made. Now, did you watch the Coming Soon?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, what Reed told him was, if they don't, well, what Franklin knew was they're going to get somebody to take the fall for this.
Yeah,
Somebody has to take the fall for it.
yeah,
But like Reed told him, if it becomes like a manhunt looking for Leon, y'all are known associates.
right,
So the police can start making things bad for you as well. And that's something that I can't help you with.
right.
So with the decision that he had to make, I think when his mama told him, like, when I see Leon, I see you.
Hmm.
So he's just like, yo, Leon is my people. I can't just turn him over to Manboy and Scully. And I don't want to kill him as well, because he also know he killed Leon's man.
Hmm.
So there's a lot going on here. And even what the auntie said, she was like, yo, like Leon has been going rogue for like the last 3 months, and Leon couldn't be
Well, you
controlled.
know, they been him and Louis been beefing though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that had a lot to do with her decision as well.
Yeah, and like I say, like she now that she's another person, there's no way you can be that successful in the dope game without smart people around you. And I think Louis
Hmm.
and Sissy are very important in what's going on.
Yeah.
And like even with Jerome's skills of just being just a weed dealer, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, he also knows some of the ramifications of the things that go on with the game as well. Really,
Right.
that's one of the things that, like, we don't know if Franklin even would have got involved in this at all if it wasn't for Jerome. Even though Jerome was just selling weed, but Jerome was
That's
selling
true.
something, you
That's true.
know. So even though Jerome was against it in the
Hmm.
beginning, he really kind of still is. Like, Jerome don't seem like he's really that excited about getting the Arkansas thing going.
Right.
He don't seem that excited about it.
Well, I
And
think I think on that point, I think that it's not just the Arkansas thing. I think that he realizes, especially after he killed old dude in the little setup that they tried to do. I think that he's looking at all this now and he's kind of seeing where all this is kind of going towards, like all this is headed. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's a lot more violence happening. It's a lot more situations that, you know what I'm saying, him being, like you said, a weed dealer, he didn't have to deal with. It's not something that he had to really um it's not something he had to go through. Like now this is something serious. Like now it's really like he wasn't getting this kind of money as a weed dealer. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying, getting these type of opportunities. So now that this new drug is here and you know what I'm saying, he's dealing with it, he's seeing it firsthand, he's kind of in my opinion, he's kind of foreshadowing the way everything is kind of going, you know what I'm saying, to end up happening. And I think he sees that it's not going to be good for either him, for Louis, for Sissy and Alton, or for Franklin, or for Leon for that matter. Like, I think that he just wants them to be to a point to where they can get good and not have to deal with any of this and just live life. Because it's like we don't know how long Jerome been selling weed. So for him to go from selling weed to selling crack and then, you know what I'm saying, like doing this for such a long time, I'm sure he's sick of the shit. Like, yo, I'm ready to just sit down and just live life. I want to, you know what I'm saying, live with my girl. I want to chill and kick it and not have to deal with any of all this extra shit every time we turn around. It's a, you know what I'm saying, somebody shooting at us or somebody trying to turn on us or we got to deal with this motherfucker. We got to deal with that motherfucker. So I think he just kind of pretty much just tired of this whole drug game.
Yeah, and it's showing. It's showing. So let's get into some other characters, man. So Scully shows up to the hospital after his girl's already
Oh
there,
man!
and that was another emotional moment. You know, him
Once
seeing his
again,
daughter on
man,
the gurney.
DeAndre Bonds, bro. I'm telling you that man needs an Emmy, bro. He needs an Emmy for
Yeah,
real.
he did that well, man. You also felt it too. Like he didn't just
Yes,
it wasn't just acting. Like you felt it,
yeah,
and so that brings upon Man Boy coming up on his sister. You know, they already got a heated relationship, and it was something
hmm
that needed to be spoke on because he was saying like, "Yo, like let me know who did this to my niece," and she was like, "You
yeah,
don't even know her. You wasn't around. You shot up my apartment." He was like, "I shot up the parking lot," and
right,
then she was like, "It don't matter." He was like, "I knew you wasn't there." So
yeah,
like, so I think that she probably didn't know. That's probably one of those miscommunication things where she just thought that, oh, you didn't give a fuck that I was there and you just shot up my apartment. And he
hmm
was saying like, yo, I intentionally shot up the parking lot and I
hmm
did it at the time that I did it because I knew you wasn't at home.
right,
So I think that's another thing that she just kind of like, it didn't give it to you in that scene, but she's probably like, after pondering it, she's like, "Oh shit! Like I didn't know that. I
hmm
just thought that I just happened not to be there. Like I think that
Well,
he knew
see,
she wasn't there."
in that scene, I think that happens a lot too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think she's so caught up in Scully that she don't realize like he really got, you know what I'm saying, Man Boy really got love for her. And then, you know what I'm saying, like she talked about how, you know what I'm saying, he just randomly showed up because his, you know what I'm saying, his niece died. But he ain't really never been there when it's like she didn't really understand, like he couldn't kind of be there. And then she was like, well, what's her middle name? You know what I'm saying? And going through that situation and they had that conversation and right before he leave, he like, yo, her middle name is the same as mom's. And like I think that right there was kind of the turning point to where, you know, they kind of got back in that brotherly, sisterly love.
Yeah, and then like the other scene where he showed up when Scully finally went home.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is, man, why you got that fucking smirk on your face? And he always got that smirk on his face, like that's his
Right.
face. You know what I
Right.
mean? And he was like, I don't. He was like, go ahead and say I told you so. And I think that like that's where they beef probably started because he said,
Mm-hmm.
tell me you told you so. Because he said you told me not to have her around this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's probably where they had a little discommunication because Man Boy probably like, yo, if you're gonna be selling drugs, don't do that shit around my niece. And so, and then probably what his sister probably thought was like, motherfucker, you sell dope. But he never was around his niece.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that's probably why they started having a bad relationship, because he was like, yo, you told me yourself that Man Boy wasn't shit. And I think that she said that about him because he didn't come around his niece, but I think he didn't come around his niece because he knew he sold drugs. Exactly. So they was able to fix, their relationship. But then it got crazy when this was getting a tattoo, and she's like, "Yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, y'all owe me."
No, listen. You want to talk about acting? I don't know who she is, but she put it down in this episode. From that scene to the scene at the hospital, or the multiple scenes at the hospital. Like when he was, they was wheeling the body away, and Scully like, yo, y'all not taking my daughter back there. She was like, hey, let them people do what they gonna do. I'm about to take my ass home and get the fuck up out these clothes. You can do whatever you want to do, man. Listen, and then the dream scene.
The dream. Oh man,
God,
the dream shit. Now the dream shit. She showed her ass. But I would tell you, when I watched it the first time, I didn't know. Now, even though I knew the second time around, like I said, when you look at something different, you can pull two different things from it. Just by the way of Franklin's mannerisms, it wasn't the same. Like, it wasn't him. Like, he would never be like, oh, you think I would give you a loaded gun, nigga? And then, like, start laughing before I shoot you? Like, that's not Franklin.
But see, I knew that was a dream to begin with anyway, because the way that they came in. Remember, Franklin gave him the key.
But it's not like he can't get another key though.
But I wouldn't expect him to.
Dude, no. Hold up. Remember when he went to go see Leon and he knocked on the door and Leon didn't answer? He had a key. Remember?
Oh, that's right. But he knocked on the door first. Remember in that scene, he did not. He just opened the door, and then he automatically knew where Leon was. It wasn't like he was looking. He just knew that this nigga was just asleep on the couch. That just kind of gave me, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is some kind of dream he having. Which I'm glad it was.
Yeah, because it was dope to put it in there because it's showing Leon, like when they dropped Leon off, he was like, I'm gonna bring you some food later. And he's like, yo, how he seemed? And he was like, that's something you never get over. Jerome, like, you never get over, killing a kid. And he was like, I never seen Leon like this.
Right.
And so it's showing us the trauma that people go through. Like, the thing is, like, some people go through trauma just murdering another person. Mm-hmm. And I think Leon was beyond that. I think Leon had, accepted the fact of, like, this comes with the business. But I think that Leon never anticipated on actually killing a kid.
Exactly.
And I think that's what really fucked Leon up. And it shows you, like, the bad dreams that he was having. And that's something that some people cannot live with. So depending
on top of that, he got younger brothers and sisters that he's taking care of as well. So just imagine that the fact that he put his life on the line for his mom, his siblings, and then, he risking his life, end up, surviving an attack or whatever the situation you want to call it. And then he find out that he killed a kid. It's like, yo, like you can just see, like in that scene of that episode, like how that went through his head, like him envisioning not just that little kid at the time, but his brother, his sister, like, damn, like, like that's some shit I never want to go through. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, 100%.
Yes, sir. So your most favorite person of Snowfall history, Irene walks in and the lady's getting fired. And
the editor in chief.
yeah, like, and she's pissed off. She was like, how did they expect you to, to turn this paper around in a year?
Yeah.
And she was like, and the thing is, come on, this was bullshit. Irene was not gonna give up that damn story because that lady got fired. And that lady talk Irene into still turning in the story. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Irene was gonna do that story regardless of whoever the editor was or any of that. But anyway, she goes in, gives them the whole rundown. And the thing about the newspaper, dude, I think that this is great that they put that in there. Now, I've never worked for a newspaper, but I do know they are really big on, we're not just going to put shit out off of one source that's not named.
They got to make sure that they got multiple sources and that all those sources are concrete.
Yes, sir, because like to do a retraction, because people now understand, like I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast ain't paper people, but we old enough to remember when the newspaper was the shit. Like that was, everybody wanted that damn the Sunday paper. Why you think the Sunday paper was $2 and the regular paper was $1?
Because that's where all the heat was. That's where all
over the weekend, like that was the hot shit. So for them to put that in there to let people know, like, the newspaper was where everybody got their source. Like people watched the news, but at the same time, there was some people who just like to read it. So, for them to put that in there to show how important it is to not have a story, because the thing about the news can put out a bad story, and then there's a 6 o'clock, there's a 12 o'clock, and then it's like a midday joint, and then it's another one at like 10. So they can say, yo, the story that we gave y'all at 6, we got more information, little something we did wrong. But when it's a newspaper, it's printed. And then you have to wait till the next day.
Yeah,
so that's why they have to make sure everything checks out. So I thought that was dope that they put that in. And then now they bring back some people from the previous seasons. They got set up. And that was just a casualty, and they was the casualties of something that Reed had to do. So she said that she got them on record. So what do you think will end up happening with the story? Because it's like, yo, 2 people that was basically drug dealers. Like those are your 2 sources to try to bring down this DEA CIA situation.
Man, I think that what we're seeing, because the one thing I love about TV shows is nothing is ever what you think it usually is, right? So I think so far what we're seeing is we're seeing a story being broken that's eventually going to come to a halt before it is actually broken. I think that she's going to find out all of this information. I think that she's going to end up basically getting this story and really, like, as far as investigative journalism goes, she is top notch. That's what I'm picking from this, because like she's really getting into what's going on, and she's like, and it's not even the fact that she's looking for it. People are actually finding her to tell this story. So I think that what's going to eventually happen later in the season is that either she's going to be shut down or she's going to be killed. Now I'm aiming for killed, of course, but either way, it's fine with me. But I think that what's going to happen is she is going to come to a point to where she's going to be able to talk about this story, or she's going to get enough information to talk about this story, and somehow either from Reed's people or from the White House or whatever, they're going to shut this story down. They're going to find a way to shut this story down. And only reason I say that is because if you think about it in real life, just recently, I want to say maybe like last year or maybe 2019 was the first time that we even ever heard that, you know what I'm saying, the war on drugs was actually a war against black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is supposed to be like around the time of Contra, Oliver North, Reagan, and all them. So we just recently got a newspaper article about how, you know, Oliver North talked about, this was really a war against, you know what I'm saying, not just going overseas and taking over that land, but also, you know what I'm saying, holding back black people, finding another way to step on, you know what I'm saying, black society. And so once she gets to a certain point, like especially like to Reed and everything that he's done in these past few seasons, all that shit is going to go away. You know what I'm saying? We've heard multiple times where she talked to the officers and she talked to the agent and everything else. Where they talked about how, you know what I'm saying, they swept everything under the rug. You know, when she went to the two drug dealers, they talked about how, you know, they're locked up because, you know, the government is basically holding them in there. So the government is going to basically put shackles on her ass, and I can't wait.
Yeah, because what she don't seem to understand is my man told her, yo, this is bigger than Franklin Saint. This is bigger than Reed Thompson.
Yep.
Like, you put this story out, like the government is gunning for you.
It's gonna be on your ass. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And that ain't what you want. Like, that ain't the kind of heat that you want to bring upon yourself. That's just like a lot of people that, you know, when people was going after the, you know what I'm saying, the 45th president, they was like, you know, what's her name? Kathy Griffin. Not Kathy Griffin. Yeah, Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, it was Kathy Griffin and Roseanne.
Yeah, they got shut down. Like, they got them. Their taxes got audited. Like, everything, like everything that they could think of. Like, yo, we're gonna shut you up and shut you down. Real quick. This is one of those situations that I don't think Irene has really prepared herself for. Like, she just think that, yo, I get the story out, my career is gonna skyrocket, and it's just like, yo, you messing with the government who's trying to do something in secret, and you trying to expose their biggest secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, they second biggest secret, but yeah, like I thought that part was wild. I mean, but then when you get back into Leon, you know, when the news broke. You know, finally, they showed everybody's point of view when the news broke. They showed his mom first, and she was just like, "Oh my God, this is why he came here." You know, they showed Franklin Saint and Alden Saint, and like I say, Alden, man, I'm trying to think of another word, man, or another phrase. I don't want to call him the weakest link, and maybe it's just that he handles his stuff differently, but like. When he seen it, he just got up and walked off.
Okay. We about to get into a good conversation on this. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And then, you know, they show Franklin, and they're like, yo, Franklin, you know, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on the news. And then he sees it, and he's like, yo, I gotta skip town. And he took the risk. Now, this is the thing. It could have went both ways. I'm cool with the way that they went. Number one, they just put out this dude face on the news. It ain't one squad car sitting there staking out his house.
But you got to remember.
But it ended up being
on the inside.
Well, the person he had on the inside, he put in evidence.
I don't think that's the only person he got on the inside.
Yeah, but you remember Reed said that this is something that I can't help you with.
But listen, but remember Reed had nothing to do with that cop either, right?
No.
And the only reason I say that is I think that's why he went to Reed to say, yo, let me know what the police have. That way the people that's with or the people that he's paying beside, because I think that cop wasn't the only cop he was paying off. I think it was more than that. But I think that him going to Reed was smart, because if you go to the cops, then they're going to know you have something to do with it. And that's going to give them any kind of justification to, like the dude did, try to charge you up, try to ask for more, whatever. So him going to Reed and finding out what's going on is a lot cheaper and easier, you know what I'm saying, than going to the local police. Now, what's interesting is you were saying that Alton was the weak link, right? I disagree, and this is why I disagree. A lot of the scenes that they show Alton in, I don't necessarily think that he's being weak, and I know I said that a couple episodes back, but watching this episode, I don't think he's being weak. I think he's being reasonable. I think he's being logical. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that tie of Sissy kind of being the head of everything, kind of being like the puppeteer behind everything. I think that tide is going to switch over to Alton. I think he's gonna kind of be the one to kind of start giving Franklin that guidance of getting around the situation because he's the closest one to the streets. He's the closest one to the drug use and everything else. So he knows, you know what I'm saying, being a former addict, being a former alcoholic, being on a former homeless person, and then going to help these people. He knows a lot more how to navigate around all this than anybody else in the cast right now. So I think that Alton is they're gonna find a way to make Alton kind of the anchor in all of this in these next few episodes.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying like I need to find another phrase because I don't think it's weak link. It's something, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to get up, it seems like every time he tries to communicate with something with Sissy, it seems like Sissy always has the upper hand on the conversation, like the whole snake situation.
Right.
I'll bite that snake off and you know what I'm saying, and go to another one. And I think Alton felt like he had her in dead to rights, but he didn't. So I think that with him just like so we have to go back to when he was going through and he was doing like a count and he seen Leon was there. So he goes to Franklin, was like, yo, I came in this morning. He was already here out cold. And then then when fast forward back to that part where he just got up, I think it was he wanted to say something, but I think that he felt that no matter what he said, Sissy had a response for it. Because like if he would have tried to have a conversation with her, it probably would have been like, yo, I just went and saw Leon early today when Franklin had him, you know, hid out at one of our places. So I think Alton just got up because he was just like, yo, like I just saw this kid. Like I literally just saw him. So I think that it was more of that. And like I say, I'm it's not the weak link. Let me make that clear. It's not the weakest link of what I'm trying to say. It's just more of Alton is a person who, like you said, and like I mentioned earlier on the other podcast, was the fact of Alton has to deal with the worst part of what's going on. Because Alton has this, you know, the whole pamper situation thing that happened. You know, he had to deal with that. He had to deal with Irene just popping up. You know, he has to deal with, you know, these people that he used to be these people that were strung out on drugs. So I think that there's one of those situations where, you know, where it's like when they say if you know, if it's your wife or your girlfriend and it's a situation or something that happens, they say sometimes the best thing to do is get up and walk away. I think that's what that was. I think he was just like, no matter what I say, it's not gonna fix it. I just need to get up and just walk away.
And I mean that could be the case. I think that's a great point. But it's just I don't know, man. For some odd reason, it's like when he's in those scenarios, you know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to say the weak link, right? Because that's what it looks like in those scenes. And maybe that's the way they, you know, so maybe that's the way they wanted it to look. But it's like every chance you see it or every time you see him, it looks like he's like the softer version of the softer side. But you know, like for him to, like you said, for him to see Leon and then go get Franklin, and it's like, yo, you know, I don't know what's going on, but you know, this boy, you know what I'm saying, come see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of those things that Sissy would do. You know, him trying to get Franklin to stay home, you know what I'm saying, before the shootout. And, you know, just saying, hey, man, you know, come sit down. Let's have, you know, so let's have some popcorn, watch some Bruce Lee movies, you know, the movies that you love to watch. That's something that Sissy would do. So it's like we're starting to see him kind of, I guess I could say mimic those gestures. And we're starting to see Sissy kind of go in a different route as far as like I don't know, like in a way, it's like she's kind of being like how Louis is. And then like Alton is kind of doing the things that she would do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know if it's just me, but it's just like I'm starting to see like just a weird shift in the character. Well, not a weird shift, but I'm just starting to see like a shift in the characters and the places that they're taking. Because You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about Arkansas. Eventually, I'm assuming that later on down the line that Arkansas is going to be where Louis and Jerome is, and Franklin might be there too. And then now you got Sissy and Alton back home. I'm sure that with the moves that Sissy has been making, she's going to have to kind of make those same decisions that Louis been making. And now Alton has to kind of step up and be in that place that Sissy was in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. And to close out that one thing, like it could have went both ways, and they gave us the alternate route. Like it could have been a unit sitting outside his house because they're like, yo, we know
Yeah.
Leon stays here, maybe he
Yep.
might show up. But the
Yep.
alternate route was Scully sitting outside. You know, after the scene that we were talking about, where the girl said, "You sitting here getting a tattoo, and this dude is out here, living like you know what I'm saying, like life is sweet. Like you
Yeah.
need to go do something." And even though Man Boy told her like, "Yo, I got something in rotation," Scully got up anyway. Yo, stay here with I'll be back. So Scully's
Mm-hmm.
sitting outside his apartment. He had a stash, and that's another thing. So maybe he didn't go get the stash that was under his couch because he just figured that the police would be there or
Yep.
Scully would be there because he tried
Yep.
to get 20 grand. But the thing is, it seemed like he got way more than 20 grand up under that chair than he did. You know, that seemed like that was
Well,
more than 20 grand.
I think you made a great point. Like you said, like you don't want to go right back to where you were supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like you don't want
Yeah.
to go back to where you think they're gonna find you. So for him to go to his mom's house, which nobody is expecting him to go there because they probably don't even know she lived there, that was a smart move to make on the first move. And then to turn around and then go back to your spot now that after a little time done happened, you know what I'm saying, things done kind of died down, to go there when you know nobody will probably be looking for you there. I'm sure he never expected Scully to even be in that vicinity when that was happening. And then I thought it was also dope for Jerome and Franklin to show up in that moment, you know what I'm saying, to come rescue him because shit got bad.
Yeah. And that shows Scully because Scully know that was Franklin's car.
Yep.
So now that shows Scully of like, yo, now we gotta get Franklin too because he's probably gonna go back. This is the thing
Well, he was at
that they didn't
Franklin to
show.
begin with.
Well, yeah, he was mad at Franklin from the begin with, but he was more concerned about getting Leon because Leon was the one to kill his daughter. So
Right.
Franklin wasn't somebody that he was thinking about at this moment.
Right.
Now, when he
Yeah, it
goes
seems like
back,
now they working together for real now. Yeah. Yeah.
because now he's gonna go back to Man Boy probably and tell him, "Yo, we had to drop on Leon. Franklin came and scooped him up
Well,
because this is
that
the
happened.
thing."
That happened.
Well, I don't know. I don't know because it seems like when Man Boy and Franklin had their meeting, they didn't say anything about him having. He said it's all of
They had
y'all,
two
and there's
meetings.
no Leon.
They
I'm
had
talking
two
about the
meetings.
second meeting.
That's
The
what I'm talking
second
about. Because
meeting,
listen, okay, he said, like you said, it's all of y'all and no Leon, right?
yes,
Then my thing is, why would he even mention Leon? Because he had to know. He had to know that Leon was with Franklin after that situation. Because for him to pop up and then say what he said afterwards was like, all right, like listen. He basically told him, like, all right, you don't want to give your boy up, you want to go to war, that's cool. I'm just letting you know now, when I come back, you're not gonna like me. That's basically what he told him when he got back in the car.
yeah. But the thing is, another reason why I think that him and Scully haven't talked yet because of like some of the subject matter of the things they was talking about. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, when I met you, you had Compton. Now I
Mm-hmm.
got that. He was like, you used to have this. Now Scully got that. He was like, you used to
Mm-hmm.
have the projects, and then that was Leon, and now that's gone. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, what you gonna do? He was like, I still got the plug. He's like, yeah, you got the plug, but you got to know where to sell it. Why would they talk about that if he knew that he scooped up Leon when Scully went and got him? That's why
Well,
I
see,
don't think him and Scully talked yet.
I think, I think that was him saying. I don't think that was him necessarily saying anything about Leon. I think that was kind of him letting Franklin know, like, yo, you think that you controlling this area, but you really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think the fact that when Franklin said, "Yo, I'm the plug," that made a lot of sense because okay, you might have Compton, Scully might have that area, Leon might have the projects, but everybody getting their shit from me. So if I ain't got nowhere to sell it,
he do got somewhere to sell it. Arkansas.
But they don't know that. They don't know that.
Nah, he don't.
That's what I'm saying. But if I ain't got nowhere to sell it, what y'all gonna do? Y'all can keep selling this bullshit, but y'all not gonna make money y'all make when y'all getting it from me. And I think that's why Leon responded the way he did. Because it's like, yeah, nigga, I know you got whatever, nigga. I'm the reason that you got it. Y'all all getting the shit from me. Nobody else is getting it the way I'm getting it. So if I got Leon or whatever, that don't got nothing to do with the way that I'm moving everything. And I think what's gonna happen is, like I said, I think that once they get to Arkansas, they're gonna get to Arkansas, they're gonna meet up with somebody or whatever. Things gonna, you know, so they're gonna kind of get that. They're gonna kind of get that groove back, and once they get that groove back, that's gonna add to the muscle that they already got.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just feel like there may be a scene where Scully and Manboy get back together, and he's like, "Yo, we had to drop on them, and Franklin came and scooped them up. They in cahoots." And he gonna be like, "Yo, I went and seen Franklin twice." He was like, "I went and saw him one time and told him, yo, you need to handle Leon." And then once, I went and seen him the second time, he was like, "Yo, I see all of y'all, but there's no Leon." He might be thinking, well, maybe he don't know what Leon is, or he know what he is, but he's just not turning them in. Like, I don't think he know the significance of Scully having a drop on him and Franklin coming to get him.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's going to be a whole nother conversation, and then they're going to band together and be like, "Yo, we're going after all of them now." Now, what is your thought on him telling Manboy that's the difference? But now, this I think this is a great conversation. Is him telling Manboy, you know what I'm saying, I'm not turning in, one of my brothers. But then Manboy saying, what I liked about you was everything was business, it was never personal, and now you're breaking your own rule. What is your thought on that?
Just going back to the scene with Sissy and Leon, you know what I'm saying? It shows you that Franklin is, and I've said this, we both said this on multiple episodes, especially, you know what I'm saying, as far as the season goes, about just how calculated Franklin is. I think that from the surface, it looks like, that Franklin is just basically saying, fuck y'all. I think that in the, you know what I'm saying, going deeper into it, I think that Franklin already has his plan. I think that he's looking at this Arkansas move, and not only he's looking at this Arkansas move, he's also thinking that, shit, I got Reed on my side. I got the police on my side. What can you really do? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, what can y'all really do? Because if you think about it, if Franklin wanted to, right, he could just say, hey, I want such and such to go to the police station. Say that, these people are doing this and this here. Or I want, you know what I'm saying, I want them to go look at Scully. Or I want, you know what I'm saying, any of that is possible. And with that being possible, he can easily exchange Manboy. He can easily exchange Scully. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've gotten to that point yet where he's realized that, but I think that in his head, that's the kind of that's what he's kind of thinking. Like, yo, none of them are as calculated as Franklin is. None of them are as smart as Franklin is. So if Franklin is saying anything or making a move, like, I usually look at it in a like a 5 steps ahead situation. Because to me, I feel like his character never moves without really thinking about the stuff that he's going to do before it happens. You know what I'm saying? Even when the if we go back an episode, and even when the bodyguard quit on him, you know what I'm saying? Listen to how he talked to the bodyguard. Yo, you can't quit on me right, or you won't quit on me right now. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make a move. Let me get this done, and then you can go do whatever the hell you want, and we ain't got no issue after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already had a plan for what was gonna happen. So I think that him telling Manboy that was just like, yo, I already have my blueprint, already got my plan. The rest of this is pretty much just gonna be a breeze.
And also, to put a button on that, when Reed asked him, "Where's your muscle?" he says, "I gave him the day off." I
Yeah.
think that's him anticipating you're gonna come back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not gonna just you think you're gonna quit, but I think with Franklin saying that, instead of just saying, "Yo, he quit" or whatever, whatnot, he's just saying, "I gave him the day off," because I think he's anticipating. I don't know if it's gonna be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're gonna come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or he's also trying to get Peaches back, but that's a totally another thing there. Well, you
Yeah.
got something on Peaches?
No, I was just, we on the same wavelength, because I
Oh,
was thinking
okay,
that Peaches,
okay.
he was gonna try to get Peaches to be the next guy. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yep.
Okay, and as far as like the coming soon, well, I actually seen it, and you could take it with a grain of salt how you want to take it. But they get into Arkansas. They're damn, what's their name? Jerome and Louie. They're
Yep.
there. She meets with her cousin. They're teaching them how to make the crack. They're teaching them how to shoot and all that type of stuff. And Jerome is saying, "Yo, you turning these people into killers." You know what I'm saying? And then like they show Franklin and Leon talking and basically saying like, "Leon, like, you gotta turn yourself in," because it also shows a scene where Franklin is pulled over and some cops, threw him on his car and arrested him because they were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, we're looking for Leon. We know you got something to do with it." Cop slams him on the hood. And so they cut away from it. So I don't know if it was just a little intimidation situation where
Yeah.
they didn't really put him in handcuffs. But the next episode, man, it seems pretty interesting, man. And the thing that I want to say is something that they did not show is, this is just, Sean doing his thing. Paul Davis. I think Paul Davis is going to.
Oh, I forgot about Paul Davis.
I think this is that thing where he was like, "Yo, I pick up a Rolls Royce for $1,000. Nah, all this type of stuff." Now with this heat that could come down on Franklin, he might back out of his deal because it's like, "Yo, this is not what we signed up for business. I can't be seen doing business with you if you associated with a dude that killed a 5-year-old kid." See what I'm saying?
Or he could find a way to turn all of this around.
Yeah, I mean, he could go in and tell them, "Yo, that bullet that y'all found with his prints on it, let's say it was a partial.
No, or they say it has something to do with Manboy or Scully."
He could, but then the news would have to retract everything that they said and be like, "Yo, we made a mistake. We said that that the police thought that they had a print on this guy. Come to find out, that was a shell casing from another thing." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like you said, it could go both ways. It could be the point of them, or even because they showed Franklin say to Leon, like, "Yo, you got to turn yourself in." It could be a situation where they're like, "Look, we talked to Paul Davis, like, you're gonna go in, and then they're gonna pull your prints to say that that wasn't your." You know what I'm saying? Like, they could find a way to flip it because he could tell him, "Yo, I'm in good with these politicians, and these politicians can actually, clear your name on this case, and we can flip this whole thing."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I see what you're saying there. I just wanted to mention that, man. I want to have it down, man. This is episode 5.
That was a good point.
I said that there, because there hasn't been a showing of Paul Davis, but I just think that there's going to be a situation where he could come very in handy with this situation.
Right, right. So, before we get out of here, man, you know what I'm saying? I know you've seen the next episode showing. What instead of giving us, you know what I'm saying, like we usually do, we kind of try to predict what's going on next. We change it up a little bit. Give me a hot take that you think, you know what I'm saying, to happen in the next episode, or that you think will happen throughout the season.
A hot take? Well, for me, just being a nerd on this stuff, I just think it's a little particular that they use Little Rock, Arkansas. What makes me say that?
I remember you mentioning that. Yeah.
What makes me say that? Now, look, like I said, you said hot take. I wonder, is any of these motherfuckers' last names gonna be Chambers? Because the Chamber brothers are from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. So my hot take is these motherfuckers, even though the Chamber brothers didn't really started selling dope until they went to Detroit.
Right.
But I just wonder, like that's my hot take that her cousins' last names could be Chambers. I could be totally off. That's just me being a nerd on this stuff.
I mean, they could do it. They could do it like those are excuse me. Those are cousins, and she show them how to, you know what I'm saying, cook everything or whatever, and then they end up being like, well, we leaving for Detroit, and then that'd be the next spot that they expand in. That would be a way to do it. But for me, my hot take is this next episode. Well, not the next episode, but later on down the line, Wanda. I've already said that Wanda is gonna clean herself up. But not only is she going to clean herself up, Mel is going to pop back up. And I think
that's not a hot take, though.
No, listen. With everything that Irene is doing, right?
Okay.
I think that once Wanda cleans herself up, Mel is going to pop back up somehow. Her and Mel are going to get back cool. And they are going to be the key behind Irene's whole investigation.
I see what you're saying. Mel is gonna come back, talk to Wanda.
She gonna piece it up with Wanda.
Wanda gonna talk
Irene gonna find out that Mel is back, and then they gonna be the key to the investigation.
Well, I thought you were saying that Mel talks to Wanda. Wanda talks to Leon, and then Leon tells Franklin, yo, this reporter went to go see. Okay, well, this is my hot take then. And then it gets to Franklin that the lady Irene went to go see Maul and asking her questions about the shooting and all of that. And so then Franklin might go to Reed and be like, yo, look, I just heard some information of this reporter went to go talk to Mel, and then Irene name come up, and then they found out that Irene now got down, pulled up all of this shit. She got pictures of Reed, Franklin, everybody. So I think that that's something that could end up happening, and that's how Irene get killed, because
you know Mel, what? I like that a lot better.
I'm just saying, like, hey, bro, we should be writers around here, man.
Hey, yeah, I like that a lot better. As long as Irene get killed, bro, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? This next episode, man, we got something, you know what I'm saying, another one that we got going on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun. Well, I ain't going to say fun, because that ain't really the word to put in.
Nah. The subject matter is not fun.
More so, maybe informative. Is that a better word?
Yes, very informative. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff going on out here. This is dealing with Hollywood. This is dealing with, you know, directors, actresses, kids. Woo! Listen,
It's heavy.
Yeah. Fun was really a bad word. I'm saying fun for us because you know what I'm saying we get to talk about it, but this is a real situation that's you know what I'm saying that as we've been seeing these last few years has been going on. Man, it's a deep one. It's gonna be a deep one.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's going to be a very deep podcast, very informative, and I'm going to defend you, man. You didn't mean fun. It's just like when we get on here, man, and the thing that we do, like we have fun doing it and giving the information to the people.
Right.
But the subject matter is not fun. It's not fun.
Not
it's
at
not
all.
funny. It's sick. It's despicable. It's all of that shit. So.
Yep.
You know, it was just more of like, you know, us looking forward to getting on here and recording this shit. So it's more of that type of fun. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a very it's gonna be an interesting pod, man. In the way that the numbers go, man, people usually like these type of episodes out of us. So I think that this next one is gonna be a really good one, man.
For sure, man. So y'all, you know what I'm saying, as usual, man, y'all keep a lookout. Y'all stay tuned. We had to bring out a late episode, of course, you know what I'm saying? Things had to go down. We had to maneuver some stuff around. But it's only because, you know what I'm saying, we really trying to get that content out here. So we got a lot of content coming out. And, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you got to put some stuff back to make some stuff work, man. And it's always for the better. You know what I'm saying? It's always for the best. We don't never want to, you know what I'm saying, halt or stop other progress, you know what I'm saying, because we got something going on that, you know what I'm saying, is here. So, y'all go check out my guy, 28 Minutes or Less, you know what I'm saying. He putting out them episodes, boy. When I tell you this man is working, this man is working. Do you hear me? This man is working. So, listen, he keeping me going. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's an inspiration to everybody else like he's been an inspiration to me. It's dope to work with somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? We said this multiple times, but it's just dope to work with somebody else, man, who just got that same fire and that same energy, man. And it's that's where it gets fun at. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else who looks at this whole podcast game, you know what I'm saying, just like you and I do. And then, you know what I'm saying, we get to work together. We get to inspire each other. You know what I'm saying? We get to motivate each other. It's fun being in this realm with people like, you know what I'm saying, yourself and people who want to, you know what I'm saying, put out great content, put out good work, you know what I'm saying, show people that not anybody could do it, but anybody who is willing to do it and wants to do it can actually put forth the effort and get out here and make it happen. So, man, it's just been a dope experience, man. I can't wait for, you know what I'm saying, later on down the line where we get to those, you know what I'm saying, 5-6 year marks and we like, yo, remember when? I can't wait for that to happen, man. So until then, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. You can follow me on Instagram, Scoots Bronson _TV. YouTube, Scoots Bronson TV. As usual, subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. If you want to know when we go live, hit that notification bell. If you're listening for the first time, thank you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. If you're a continued listener and you just been here from the beginning or you just been riding with us for a minute, thank you for your continued support, man. We definitely appreciate you. Keep listening. We got a lot of great content coming for you, of course, as always. And if you're on Facebook, man, go to the Viewers Anonymous Podcast Watch Group. You can find it under VA Podcast Watch Group. It's growing. It's growing. We're trying to get a lot of members. We aiming for 100 right now, but if we can get over 100, that would be great. We need as many people as we can get in there. That's where you can find all the information on Viewers Anonymous. That's where you can get the video. That's where you can get the audio. Linktree, I know I said it's coming soon, but it really is. Today I'm going to actually work on the Linktree, so that'll be up by Monday. So you guys continue to listen, continue to follow. YouTube will be in the Linktree as well. So if you want to watch us, you know what I'm saying, do what we do, you can also do that. And yeah, man, hit that join button, man. Join into the group. You know what I'm saying? That way you can request movies. That way you can request TV shows. Whatever you guys want to hear, whatever you guys want to listen to, whatever. Man, that was redundant as fuck. Go ahead and just join the group. VA Podcast Watch Group, man.
Yes, sir. And you can follow me at s.foster8 on Instagram, Stolen Time Pod on Instagram, the Stolen Time Podcast on Facebook, the Stolen Time Podcast Network on YouTube. That's where you can get the video of the podcast, mostly the 28 minutes or less podcast. But the last podcast is up. Is the podcast I did with my guy Mark Bennett, man. He was on episode 204 of the Stolen Time podcast, so you can go check that out. I got another guest lined up for the next Stolen Time podcast. And then also I got a big special episode of 28 minutes or less. It's gonna come out this Monday. Very excited about that interview, to come out. So like you said, man, I've been putting in work, man. So I'm just trying to give the people what they want. And what I'm saying, even with this, we got, another guest that's coming up on the next couple of episodes. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Yes, sir, man. So with that being said, once again, man, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We definitely appreciate your support. Continue to give us that support. We continue to, give you guys this great content. And like they say in Hollywood, man, it's a wrap.
Good.